clutch 4, 2021 T positive Batik to a non-Karma Het T negative, Het T positive. As you can see, stuff is ready to start coming out. Today we have clutch 4 of the 2021 season. The pairing is a T positive Batik bred to a non-Karma, 100% Het T positive, 100% Het T negative. Box 1 here. We're expecting to see normals, Batiks, T plus Batiks, and then everything will be 100% Het T positive and 50% Het T negative, or pos Het. As you can see, a lot of these guys are already out. This clutch is a 100% natural pip. We did not cut or assist with anything. They did it all on their own. So we'll start putting these guys away. A couple normals here. This is actually pretty cool because they're very different normals. Different pattern, different coloration. This is cool with the big dashy striping. So those guys will be 100% Het for T positive and possible Het for T negative. It's a really nice T positive albino. Will be possible Het for T negative. Another really good looking normal. A lot of striping, a lot of color. It's a nice little Batik, good small pattern, striping. Looks great. Everybody's bellies are awesome, perfect. Their umbilicus is already closed off. Ooh, busted. All right, well, we'll open some of these guys up. I'm gonna start with this normal looking guy here. So this breeding is actually to prove out something we've been working on with our double Het female. In the past breeding, we bred her in 2019, and she gave us a nice clutch of T positive and T negative albinos.
Because she was bred.
Ow, I wish I could pretend like that didn't hurt, but that definitely hurt. So as you can see, we have a freshly hatched baby blood python that is only protecting itself. It doesn't have a bad attitude. It's not mean. It is simply protecting itself, and it just lit me up. So I'm going to try to act tough. So you saw me jump. It generally doesn't hurt when they just bite and let go, but when they bite and grab on, that's when you start to feel it. No harm, no foul. That's what I get for sticking my fingers there. So anyhow, as I was saying, the babies from 2019, we got both forms of albino and we got some normals. And as we held everything back, and as the animals started to develop, we noticed that we had some very extremely strong colored T positive, T negative, and normal animals from that clutch. So mom also exhibits that same coloration. So what we're trying to do now is to prove that in an unrelated breeding. And we wanted to use an albino batik to see if we could do that. So here we have a nice looking albino batik. So with the original clutch from 2019, we didn't really notice anything that stood out when the animals hatched. It was something that developed, but I do feel like I'm seeing, at least on 2 of these normals, that they have a much higher expression of color. So it's actually kind of neat. So the albino we just did had a much lighter head, right? So you have a very light head, and then you have a not so light head. It has a lot more color. This one also has a very light head. So I'm thinking that that is an albino batik, but we'll find out in a second. And it is an albino batik. At the end of this video, we will share some of the examples of the 2019 clutch that we were talking about. It's mind-blowing how much color they actually have. And if we can prove that to be genetic, standalone it's fantastic, but we believe as an enhancer for other genes, it's just going to be out of this world. All right, so another T positive albino batik. They're feisty, of course. Why wouldn't they be? Can I get this guy in here? Hopefully we can do it without too much. This guy absolutely went to town on that egg. So, as I said, mom is a 100% Het T positive, 100% Het T negative, and a lot of you have started to associate that combination as being karma. This is not a karma, and as a matter of fact, she is from the first ever known clutch of karmas, and she is a normal sibling that is a double het, and she is not a karma. So we've held her back, and we've been trying to breed her and learn a little bit more about the inheritance of the karma gene. And again, she is not a carrier. We've proved that twice. We bred her to a normal brother. I almost launched that snake out of that container. We bred her to a normal double het, T positive, T negative sibling of hers, and we got no karmas. And now we're also breeding her, we bred her this year to the T positive, which would definitely have brought out the karma if it existed in her, and it does not. So I felt confident in saying that you can absolutely have non-karma. Oh, they're fired up. Look at that little head. So that egg was a little gross. And this guy's got such a small head. Okay, and here's why. So this little guy is all twisted up, and it kept him from absorbing his yolk properly. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to put it back in its incubator box outside of the egg. Oh man, we're going to have to take that out. That's just bad. So I think it's kinked too. You can go and stop. Clutch 4, box 2. This is the T positive batik to the double het albino. with a little bit of a surprise in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out here. We do have some twins. I can already tell that one of them is a little bit smaller, which is generally the case with twins. And historically, we've had pretty bad luck with them, unfortunately. Oftentimes, the smaller twin will be dead at the time of hatching, or oftentimes will end up dying shortly after hatching. So we approach everyone like it's the first time and try to do the best we can, and hopefully we have better luck this time. So like the first box, we have some albinos and non-albinos. Here's a pair of batiks. One is a T positive, one is a 100% Het T positive. Nice little normal. Here's a little albino that's partially coming out. Come on out, little guy. Pretty good color on these guys for just hatching. Again, the mom has a tendency to throw some really colorful babies, so we're hoping to capitalize on that. I must have thrown the egg already, huh? Let's open the rest of these up. I cannot believe that it literally is already ready to come out biting. I mean, I guess I can believe it. So things are a little bit different this season. We're incubating lower temperatures, which means they're incubating longer and using more of their egg food source, all of it in this case. And we're also letting them sit in their containers longer before we mess with them. And I've got to be honest with you, I think they're a little bit more toothy. I don't know what else to call it. I started the season off pretty confident that I could handle a few bites, and we're only 4 clutches into it, and I'm feeling it. That's another nice little T positive albino. No blood veins, no yolk sacs, no fat bellies. The belly button is already closed up. All good signs. Another albino. This one's looks really nice and colorful. Look at that. I know, kiddo. All right. Another good looking T positive albino. Looks like we did really good with the albinos in this clutch. I think we only have so far 3 T plus batiks, but it looks like we might be on 4 or 5 of the regular albinos. Hey kiddo, you don't come out. Is it just me or do the normals seem like they're way more prone to come out biting? Do you see the color on this one? I'm scared. I got bit yesterday. I said it doesn't hurt. I got bit yesterday and that thing literally just crawled across the length of my finger with its teeth and that hurt. Look at that. That is amazing. That was a good looking animal right there. Nice pattern. Yep. That one's going to have some color. All right, kiddo, let's do this. So far, the clutch is looking really nice. We did have an egg in the first box that had a nasty yolk. I initially thought that it was twisted up, but it wasn't. The baby had, I don't know if it was because of the bad yolk or if it was just a issue with the baby itself that was keeping it from being able to absorb the yolk. But it did not survive. And that one was, unfortunately, a beautiful little batik. We do see issues like that from time to time. It's not a high number, and it isn't just associated with the batik. It's really across all of our clutches. Just sometimes there's stuff that doesn't work out the way it's supposed to. Good. Another albino batik. So you definitely can tell the difference in the albino batiks just from their head. The heads on these have a little bit more of a pastel color to them. Base color. Let's see if I can get this guy out of here. Oh yeah. Good looking too. Very happy. We're big fans of batiks around here. Oops, sorry kiddo. All right, so we are going to get to the twinsies here. See if we can do this. I think there we go. Kind of thought that they had been stuck because they've both been poking out like that for a while now. So they are regular albinos. Now, it has been our experience that twins with snakes are not identical twins. While they share the same egg, they often are just two different snakes in an egg. So there's the little small guy. Wow, that guy is small. So, as you can see, that guy is absolutely tiny. Did a great job of absorbing its yolk, but it's very difficult to have two animals in one egg sharing the food source of one animal. So as you can tell, this guy's much larger, but he's still smaller. And that's because they are competing for the same food. I guess we'll just have to see how these two turn out. We will remain hopeful, see how they do. Both nice and small. They have amazing color for what they are, but oftentimes that can be associated with their size as well. As promised, here are a handful of the 2019s that we held back. So out of the 2019 clutch from the non-caramel double het for albino female, we produced a handful of extra colorful animals. Not every animal was colorful like this, just these 4 were. So what we have here is a nice T negative right here. We have 2 T positives, and then we have a normal. And they are phenomenal. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to isolate whether or not this gene is inheritable in a standard form. So whether or not this would be line bred, or if it is some sort of recessive or incomplete or dominant type trait. As you can see, they are absolutely glowing with color. Absolutely glowing with color. Allie and I were talking about it in 2019. We also had a set of twin T-positive albinos that hatched from that same female and that same clutch. So be curious to see if over the years when we breed her, if she continues to throw twins. Look at these tails. Look at that, look at the pattern, look at the color. That's just amazing. This is a 2-year-old T negative. Look at the color saturation on that thing. When people talk about color in their blood pythons, this is it. This normal here looks very much like the mother did when she was young. So we're pretty excited about working with this female and seeing what we can do with her genetics. You know, even if it is just a line bred enhancer, it will certainly have a place with batiks adding color, or the albinos, obviously, and many other traits that you guys are used to. So we'd love to hear what you think about these guys and the clutch 4 that we just pulled out. Feel free to leave questions below. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe. Clutch 5 is soon to follow. Thank you.